I got my hair pulled up because we're about to deal with some food. I've washed my hands. My son is driving me crazy.
Where's my teeth?
Anywho, I don't know. It's gone. It was old. It got thrown away. Welcome to my channel. I am the Chaos Master. The thing about my channel is I'm an amateur on purpose. I like to keep it real, down to earth, tone it out, balance the universe. Everyday people like me watch YouTube. So I want to, be like that normal person so you can watch instead of always having these perfect videos that are edited and professional cameramen and pretty expensive lighting and all that jazz. It's a little bit dark up in here. There's a little natural sunlight. We have quite an overcast here in the northern Kentucky area. As you all can see out my window, my windows need to be cleaned. So today we're going to do some hill jack, Southern style. My absolute favorite thing that I look forward to every summer, especially if you go to the festivals and the fairs, they have them. We're going to make some fried green tomatoes. Not the movie. Look at this. Oh, I fell asleep the other day with makeup on. Don't do that, because this is the results. Anyway, so we're going to make some fried green tomatoes together. There are so many different recipes out there and different ways to make them. You can also use cornstarch. I prefer the simpler way, which is just flour, oil, eggs, and of course green tomatoes. Went to a flea market over the weekend and got some big old good green tomatoes from the farmer's market. Those are always better than store-bought in my opinion. So without further ado, my peeps, let's make some fried green tomatoes. And I got a green mixing bowl. How appropriate. For tomato, and the thing about this, when you buy green tomatoes at the store, you better make them within 24 to 48 hours the most, because your tomatoes are going to naturally start to turn red or orange and yellow, and they won't be green tomatoes anymore. About making fried green tomatoes, it can get messy, so I always recommend you get you some culinary gloves. Okay, so, and have a bigger kitchen, because I have such a small kitchen. I live in an old house that's like 150 years old, and back in the day they didn't have equipped big huge kitchens. Don't have a dishwasher. My dishwasher is my hands, and yeah, and my daughter who's a lazy teenager, but we won't get into that. So first thing is, you gotta get you some egg, like so, and just stir them up really good. Get you some green tomatoes, slice them, and put them in the egg, and let them soak for a moment. It starts to get messy. So then you take it, as so, and you put it in some flour or cornstarch. Some people use breadcrumbs. There's so many recipes you can just Google on the internet. Okay, like so. Shake off the excess. Okay, and then when you hear that sound, that's when you know your grease is ready. Always be careful because it can splatter. I recommend having a splatter guard, which I have somewhere, but I couldn't even begin to tell you where it's at. So I kind of drop mine and run for cover. So you drop it in there, woo, run for cover. You might lose a little bit of flour. It's okay. Then you salt and pepper. Isn't he cute? Look at my UGG glove. Can you tell it's been used? Look at all the food splattered on it. I need to clean that. And then I salt and pepper them. Just lightly sprinkle some salt and pepper. Like so. And then you repeat with some other slices of tomato. I have these to flip the tomato, and then you salt and pepper the other side. Just takes a little bit. Doesn't take a lot. Like so. How making fried green tomatoes can become messy. This is why, right here. Okay, so let's salt and pepper our other slices. You can really use any kind of flavor. I've heard of people making them Cajun and this and that, but I just like old style salt and pepper. And then always try to use the whole slices, the middle of the tomato, because the end pieces like this won't fry as well. So you could always cut that piece off, but the heel is what we call it, or the butt of the tomato, wouldn't work as well as this piece like that, like the holes. So I'm going to slice that little piece off and add that in there. Alrighty, so this one right here is just about done. You always want to keep an eye on them. You don't want to overcook them. You just want them to be a little bit golden brown. That side can maybe cook a little bit longer. I got it kind of low because I didn't want to burn them while I was slicing the other pieces of tomatoes. Pepper them, because I've been known to over pepper them, and when they cook they absorb the flavor, so it's like extra. So a little bit of pepper is like more than usual because of the way that it cooks, it absorbs it. So this piece is looking pretty much done. So we're going to put that over here in our bowl and let that cool off. Yummy. I can't wait to share these with you, my funky fab friends. Our first batch is just about done. I could cook them a little bit more if I want. As you can see, that's really about the consistency you want. Really, it's to whatever your liking is. Now, when you do let them cool down, keep in mind you don't want them to cool down too much, because cold green tomatoes are kind of soggy and they're not as good. So you want to still eat them while they're hot. But since you're cooking them in oil, you obviously want them to cool down some. So obviously let them cool down. Just don't let them cool down for too long. Batch number 1 is pretty much done. Still pretty hot to the touch. So I'm going to let it cool down a little bit more. And then you can always add more salt and pepper for taste if you want when they're done. This is the first slice I made. So good. So warm and fresh. And just the right consistency of crunchy. Oh, still a little hot. Watch some tomato juices. They can get hot inside. You can burn your roof with your mouth if you're not careful. So good. It's done, and batch number 2 is on its way. This, honestly, right here is really about the brown of the browniness. You really want them to be, but you really got to keep an eye on them because they will burn quickly and almost start to smell like burnt toast. And you don't want to smell that smell because that means your heat is too high or you're keeping them on for too long. So you really got to keep an eye on them when you're cooking them. So always keep that in mind too. Keep in mind is that you'll notice that batch number 2 will cook faster than batch number 1 because you're using the same grease and it's been heating up a longer time, so it's going to be hotter. That's a good golden consistency right there. That's about where you want them to be, so they're not underdone or overdone. Alrighty. And that's done, and I'm going to do my third batch. I did 3 big tomatoes. That's a lot of fried green tomatoes, buddy. My kids are like, ew, because they don't know what's good. They want to eat junk all the time. Okay, that's enough with the sound effects. Seriously. Y'all, so good. Some people like to dip theirs in ranch or spicy ranch or like a zesty buffalo sauce. I'll say mine was salt. So good. So, subscribe to my channel. Click that like button. Comment below. Don't forget to ding my bell so you'll get notifications when I upload a photo. And if you have your own fried green tomato recipe you'd like to share, please comment that below. Peace out. I'm going to eat my fried green tomatoes in front of my kids and gross them out now. I love them.